Welcome everyone to GPAT Tutorial Achievers Session Talk. At today's session, we will talk with Sneha Das Gupta, who has been a part of GPAT Tutorial's family for a very long time. She has been attending regular classroom session and mock exams. She has secured a rank of All India rank of GPAT 49 and NIPER rank of 25. She has become one of the toppers of GPAT Tutorial. Welcome Sneha to GPAT Tutorial Talk session. First of all, sincere congratulations on your well-deserved success. So finally you have qualified GPAT and NIPER and made all of us proud. So how was your journey of success?
The entire time before examination, I was very nervous as the chapters, they have huge syllabus. So gradually what I did, I divided the syllabus into several smaller parts, and I made a list of the chapters which I thought were important and also the ones which I was fond of. So there was a liking factor involved. Studying every day, it was very difficult for me. I used to take small breaks and I tried to keep myself motivated. And I talked to several seniors and my teachers, asked for suggestions from them. Then I also tried to study in an interactive way. I watched YouTube videos on the topics which I did not understand. So the animated ones were very helpful.
Okay. So Sneha, coming to one of the vital questions which most of the juniors has interested to know, like how did you design your study for the last 6 months of your preparations, and how did you prepare your subject, especially subjective and very informative subjects like pharmacology and pharmaceutics, pharmacoanalysis, where you require a proper understanding of the subject and everything. So how did you actually set up your last 6 months preparation?
So first what I did was I chose the subjects that I wanted to study, and I included pharmacology in them because it requires a lot of time for revision, and still we keep on forgetting that concepts. And when I started, there were nearly 6 months left, so my speed was a bit slow. I studied in one new chapter a day, and sometimes it was two, depending upon the length, and along with that some revision. Giving regular exams is also very important. Keeping it to 2 to 3 exams a week will be okay, and I noted the explanations to all those answers and in a copy, and I used to revise that on a regular basis. For pharmacology, I studied both KD Tripathi and Sparsh. So from Sparsh, studying every single line is very important. Not every, but most of it. And some of the topics from Sparsh, they are missing. So they are present in KD Tripathi. And what I did was, in the beginning of learning the chapter, I marked the ones which were extra in KD Tripathi and then studied both of them. Then if any chapter is very lengthy and difficult, so I would suggest studying the classification, the mode of action, and if any exception is present. So that would be sufficient if you are thinking that no, I cannot do this chapter, it's too huge. In case of pharmaceutics, focusing on the basic topics is very important, like the isotonicity problem, the alligation methods, then the Latin terms, the parts of prescription, because these are very easy and questions are very frequently asked on these topics. So you can score more and more marks if you know these very well. And in case of the huge ones, like the defects of tablets, evaluation methods, then the machines which are used in processing, I would suggest making a table would make it a lot easier. Then this is for pharmacology and ceutics, and besides that, the minor subjects like microbiology, biochemistry, studying them is also very important for receiving a very nice rank. These subjects need to be studied.
Sneha, now as you mentioned, to especially how do you devise your and you paved your path for success after you design your study. So, uh, coming to the designing of study, how did it's like a persistent revision is a must to success. So, a revision is at most required, especially in a competitive examination preparation, right? So, how was your revision planning, right? For the last 6 months you left, for the last 1 month, how did you actually revise your subjects?
When I initially started my GPAT preparation, so there were a few chapters, and from the beginning only I kept a record of the chapters that I'm studying, because I knew that as the months passed, more and more chapters will get added, and it will become difficult for me to keep a track of the ones I need to revise. And one day I studied a new chapter, I revised it the next day, and then alternative days if possible, till it became smooth for me. And every day I would suggest to keep a very small task for yourself, like a small table about indicators, or the common names of various chemicals which are present, or the types of mills. uh, Try to learn these one single table a day, and then keep on revising. These tables, they require about 2 to 3 minutes, so it's not very difficult for you, and keep on revising these.
So, Sneha, you mentioned your experience and how you revised your planning sessions in the last 6 months of your GPAT preparation. One more question I would really want to ask you regarding the issues, like you were the first batch who gave their GPAT examination in the pandemic situation, like during the pandemic situation. So, you people did actually start facing these issues of stopping the offline classes, and there was a beginning of the online era session, right? So everybody had to attend their regular classes through online, and there was no session that could be conducted offline due to this pandemic situation. Now, in your view, how do you feel that GPAT tutorial has conducted their online session? Because as per the global feedback, it says that online classroom sessions are not so interactive. So, in your view, how was GPAT tutorial online classroom session, and how did that benefit?
I also think that the online classes, they are a bit less effective than offline classes. But GPAT tutorial, it adapted very quickly to this situation. Initially, when the classes were offline, we used to have a single class in the weekend. But after it became online, we had about 3 to 4 classes, sometimes more than that, a week. And each of them were about 1.5 hours long, very detailed. So time was not the matter. This was almost an advantage for us. A greater amount of syllabus got covered because of that. And there was also no problem in interacting with the teachers. All of them were friendly. They were very well acquainted with the softwares that are used. And besides the regular classes, we had some extra sessions with the chief mentor. These were mainly focused on how to motivate the students, and all our problems were addressed there. So the chief mentor generally provided us with the possible solutions. This was very helpful for us. And since the classes were online, we also received some classes from teachers who do not stay in West Bengal. They were very nice classes, and they would not be possible if the classes were offline.
So, Sneha, another important question, which is, I think, very important out there. So, how did you differentiate the institute mock test paper and study material to other guidebook for GPAT examination?
GPAT tutorial, they held regular weekly exams, and the platform was completely like the actual GPAT examination. These were timed examinations, and they also gave me a very detailed analysis of my paper, like of course my score, then the negative ones, and how many of the difficult questions that I answered correctly, how many were wrong, my rank amongst my peers, all of these were present. Also, there were explanations for each question. And I would suggest noting these explanations in a copy and then studying and revising them regularly. The GPAT tutorial, they also provided study packages from the beginning only. Initially, they were detailed and completely focusing on the chapter. But few months before the examinations, the study mat, it focused on important sums. The short topics like tabular forms of various indicators and then types of mills, all of these. So any gap which was remaining after studying the chapters in detail, these gaps were filled. So the study materials were very helpful.
Sneha, another important question which most of the juniors have a knack of keeping asking. The last 1 month for GPAT examination. GPAT is knocking at the door and you are now using your last 30 days. How did you actually strategize your time management, your strategies, your skill development, anything you more require for your GPAT examination? If you could just explain us.
Just 1 month before exam, that is mostly about revision. So I generally revise about 3 to 4 chapters a day. And still I felt like many chapters, new chapters, they were remaining. So it was about 1 new chapter a day even now, and 3 to 4 chapters revision. So that was my plan. And the one that I mentioned, the record of all the explanations that I noted from the online exam, that revision too is very important, because those questions, they help us in covering very vast areas, different chapters. So these two things, constant revision was very important.
So Sneha, another question which is very important regarding the coming to the GPAT examination portion, especially when you are giving an examination. So you have scored, you are being one of the topper of GPAT tutorial, have established a very good rank. Now, coming to the examination portion where you are sitting for an examination, GPAT examination is a stress situation. You have to focus, very focused. You do not miss any question and think. So your exact planning, like to approach a question, how much to attempt, especially again, not only GPAT, but also for NIPER, your attempting and your strategies, when you are going through a question, how to answer a question and everything. If you could just help us.
So before starting the exam, sitting for the actual exam, one thing we need to keep in mind is that for GPAT, there is pretty much plenty of time for revision also. So in the first round, attend only the ones you think you know 100% correctly. So attend only those ones, even if they are 30 or 20 or 40, attend only the ones which you think you know 100%. Then revise the entire paper, and in the second round, attend the ones in which you have to apply logic, like the sum. You need time for that, attend them in the second round. And by logic, I mean is that some questions you may not know, like on reading the question immediately, you may not know the answer. You may need to think. So these questions also attend them in the second round. Some questions for them you can apply the elimination method. Suppose there are 4 options, you know only 2. So eliminate those 2 and think about the remaining 2. So from this method, I could answer some questions, and maybe they were correct also. In some questions where 2 options, they may seem very similar, and the doubt level is very high. So whether you will attend it or not, it depends on how many questions you have already attended. If it's enough for you, you may skip it. If you think that high chances are there, it will be wrong. There is a benefit that if it becomes correct, your rank may increase, but the rank may also decrease drastically because of -5. So it completely depends on your confidence and how many questions you have attended, whether it is enough for you or not. Generally, what happens in the exam is that after attending just 5 or 10 questions, there's a stretch that at a stretch you cannot attend about 6 questions. So then most of the students will become nervous. So I faced this during the mock exams and to some degree during the actual exam, GPAT exam. So what I did was I do not start from the question number 1. I started from the middle of the paper, that is about question 51. So it was somewhere in my mind that I could attend the ones up to 50. They would be easy. So then it became a lot easier for me. The number of questions to be attended, it depends on your accuracy. How many questions you attend and how many of them are wrong. So it depends on that. For being in a safe region for GPAT, the number of questions will be about 90, maybe 80 to 100. And for NIPER, it will be from 170 to 180. For me, the accuracy level was 70%. And in GPAT, what happened is I attended nearly 99 or something, and 76 were correct. 21 or something were wrong, and there was a drop question. So this is my paper analysis. If there is still time remaining, revise. Whether it is 4 times you have revised or 5 times, keep on revising till the time is up, because I faced this. One question, I became too much overconfident about that, and I checked that question about 3 times. And still I did not notice what wrong I did. There was a not in the question and I skipped it. So I would recommend revise it as many times as you can.
So thank you, Sneha, for this wonderful session. And I think a lot of information has been shared to the juniors who will be appearing for this GPAT examinations. And I think that will be a great importance to them. That will really help. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.